Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Danganronpa. Okay, so I got into the class trial a little bit, and I realized my my microphone settings weren't set up correctly. So I went through the second non-stop debate. I didn't get too far into it. We don't know anything more than what we already knew. So yeah, I was like, oh my god, you're kidding me, I was using the wrong mic. Okay, but okay, we're good. We're gonna get into this. I just looked over the e-handbook stuff and had to equip the skill because it increases our influence gauge by 2, which is awesome. So I read through all the information again, just so we have everything in mind, but we still don't really have anything that points us to a specific person as the killer. The only thing that I could have maybe realized is that on Mondo's account, it talks about how Chihiro, due to her inferiority complex about being weak, she admired strength more than anything else. So that makes me think it could possibly be someone who's strong, because then she would invite them along to come help her exercise or whatever, because they're obviously strong, so they know how to get freaking ripped. So that's the only thing I might have gotten onto. I don't know. So let's do this.
Let's begin with a basic. If
Oh yeah,
you
we already
can,
know this
I'll.
stuff.
Okay, let's talk about the murder weapon.
Yay! First, we have to make clear what we used to deliver the fatal blow, or what was used. Okay. Locker room dumbbell. Yeah, so this is like
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
Mm-hmm.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Nope, it was not. It was a dumbbell.
No, that's wrong. No, that's wrong.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell, found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
I can't even imagine getting hit with a dumbbell and it caves your skull. Ugh.
You looked at her head wound?
Yay! That's so creepy.
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
It's Genocide Jack, guys.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Who would know? Genocide Jack, the fiendish serial killer. Did he really kill Chihiro? New element has been added to the non-stop debates. Yes, let's hear it. Even though I heard this. Lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions. Your truth bullets will disappear if you hit these lines, so think of them as obstacles in your debate. There's a way to keep this white noise from getting in your way. Press the right mountain to attach this silencer, which you can use to shoot down the white noise. If you shoot an actual mark with your silencer instead of the white noise, the time limit will decrease. Take careful aim when you have your silencer out. I just sent a gentle, white noise won't appear at all. But we're on normal, so that doesn't matter. Good luck and have fun. It's never fun. It's never fun. They always say it, but it's never fun. Genocide Jack case file.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
Oh no!
Hey, so speaking
shoot.
of Genocide Jack,
I don't know who that is!
I thought I timed it with enough, but okay. Boop. There's the proof. There's
No,
the proof.
that's wrong.
Okay, we got it. We're good. I think we're okay. We missed one. We're great.
I might know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file. while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kinda weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
And where is it now? Why is it gone? We went to check back and it wasn't there.
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be 2 defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
Oh.
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
Okay, so I'm in new territory. I don't know. This is where I stopped before. Okay, so other characteristics of every Genocide Jack case, which the world at large doesn't know. If I'm not mistaken, has to do with the position of the body, of the victim's position.
I got it! Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way.
That's true.
So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
Oh, okay, just calling her out like that. All right.
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
You lie!
Okay.
What?
Calm down now.
Hey, okay, wait, hold
Yeah,
on a sec.
let's back it up.
Toko has, like, bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Because of her split personality.
Another
I guess.
riddle. Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
My brain's not big enough. It's a riddle for sure, but I feel like I understand it. What it means for Genocide Jack to be Toko, but also to be not Toko. The answer is that she's not just one person, but multiple people, right? Hangman's Gambit. Oh, okay. Oh, shoot, I don't remember how to do this. Wait, what? What is this word? What the Oh my gosh, I'm timed on this too. Wait, what is this word? I don't know. I have no idea. Is it C? What? Oh, schizo. Oh. Oh, okay.
Now I understand.
Oh, okay. Got it. I was like, I thought I was gonna call it with like
Is it
split or
because
something.
Genocide Jack has a split personality?
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
The one thing that shows Toko could have split personality has to do with her behavior. Her behavior changed. That's
I got
very
it!
true. Oh, when I get my
You're
hearts back
talking
whenever I
about
do
how
stuff
she
right.
started
That's good.
acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
I'm fine, kid. Whoa, is that a dead body? Hey, you dead? Kid. She must have hit her head real hard when she fainted. The rod is a front and a back, a top ending and a bottom, a sea of truth and a web of lies. This is quite concerning. I mean, she sounds completely different.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my
stone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
I won't let Genocide Jack have control. I'll drive out this killer, drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How?
Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
Wait a minute. Is it actually Toko? I was thinking it couldn't possibly be her, right? Because it's like, no, this game wouldn't do that, right? They wouldn't like. Okay, well, let's see.
What? You promised! I can't believe you lied!
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale. Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise,
I'm sorry. I couldn't keep our promise. But don't worry. Never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
how many times do I have to tell you? I never said that, but you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it.
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person? You don't mean...
Wait a minute. Does he have something that, like, triggers her? Yeah. Toko's bodily suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom, but in the next second... Oh, gosh.
Well, hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see?
What? Excuse me? Genocide Jill?
Yes! What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
Toko, what happened to you?
Not Toko. That's a loser name. And what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults.
I don't know if I like this.
She's so intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie.
Which is the exact thing she said before when she fainted and stuff. Is it because she doesn't have a phobia of blood, it's because anytime she sees blood, this comes out. Well, then she would have had to see blood now for it to come out. I don't know.
Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
This is the murderous fiend Genocide Jack? This is beyond intense.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you. I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true. How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid?
Creepazoid.
And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless. I mean, they just let this idiotic, bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town.
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
Okay.
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death.
Well, okay.
There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
I don't know, man. There's no
A
way.
motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting.
No, dude. I don't know.
But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Okay, so is it Byakuya? I mean, that would be the only other person, right? Because I mean, if the characteristic about the body being suspended wasn't ever revealed to anyone besides like the inner circle or whatever, and his family's a part of that, then he would know. So he just tried to copy it, and then, well, maybe he realized like Toko is Genocide Jack, so he's like, oh, okay, so I can recreate Genocide Jack's style of killing and then pin it on her. That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster!
If Toko isn't actually the culprit, which, like I said, I don't think so, because they're obviously trying to push it onto her. Maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me. What she said, I need to get some more details about all this. Okay. Make your argument. Status of the dead body.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone!
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking!
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely.
Whoops.
What more
Wait,
proof
what is that?
do we need? Give it up. You killed her.
Wait, what is modus operandi? What does that mean? Like the same method of doing stuff? Okay, just focus on remembering Chihiro's body. I must see the answer. This should prove that what he said isn't quite right. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's the false statement, because I don't know what that means. Modus operandi. I don't know what the friggin' know. It's like Latin or something.
Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that.
Yeah, it's gotta be something with the stabbing, right?
I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you!
Oh my gosh, so...
I murder with passion and conviction.
So... it's So Toko isn't the culprit. We have to live with this. We have to live in this school with this person. Oh my
I
gosh.
consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
There's one clear difference between the murders. In the photos from the other Genocide Jack cases, look at the neck and stomach. Here you'll see a clear difference. The style of the victim's fatal injury.
I got it! For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
Is there?
That's right. In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
Oh gosh, that face, I hate it.
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
Because it was stabbed on the wall? That's right, the second difference is related to how she was suspended. In the photos of the other Genocide Jack cases, all the other victims were stabbed with their hands. Here you see a clear difference. What was used to suspend her.
I got it!
Okay.
Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her
Extension
wrists.
cord.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what?
Ew.
I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement.
Why is she biting her thumb?
Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else?
Okay, yeah, what else?
Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac? Wait. Big Mac? I love that.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Big Mac.
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
There is?
A pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Let's see. There's a pattern surrounding the Genocide Jack victims, and Chihiro didn't fit it. If you look at the names of every victim, what you'll notice is her friend was a girl. Oh. Yeah, I guess because she was a girl. Oh, but she didn't know she was a guy. Wait a minute. Yeah. I guess this is the only one that makes sense, right? Yeah.
I got it!
I think.
Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
There's no one, yeah.
They were all guys?
That's right!
Gosh.
The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men!
So this is where it's gonna get revealed, huh?
I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it. But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So, since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely, when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lolly car!
Lowly
occur?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
That does make some amount of sense.
Yeah, for the fact that she's like actually insane, making good sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
That's also the thing too, is that they had to lift up the dumbbell to hit Chihiro with it. So they have to be strong.
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. They had to actually lift it up. And there was a lot of weights on that dumbbell.
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that?
I guess not now. Oh!
Da-da-da-da!
Dude. Actually insane. Just like a JoJo
She's
pose.
fully equipped!
That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime! Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side?
I thought the stuff got removed at the beginning.
Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong! You can't, can you? Gutter dogs, all of you!
Or Monokuma was just like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna allow this one.
Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the question anyway!
Okay.
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Actually, hold on. There is one person who could have copied the Genocide Jack cases. It's Byakuya. Okay, I guess we're selecting someone. Look at him, he's nervous. He's nervous, he doesn't like it. He's nervous too. It's like Chihiro! No, Byakuya. He knows
Here's my
about it.
answer. Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it?
So is Byakuya the killer?
You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
He's got nothing to say. Is it really him? Wow. So, okay, well, let's see.
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Then, the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
Okay.
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now,
He didn't really ever, did he?
the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
I don't remember that far. In the locker rooms. That's suspicious. Very suspicious indeed, wouldn't you agree? Huh? Suspicious? It seems nobody searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker room.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
But we didn't know Chihiro was the victim. Ooh, you freaking played yourself, my dude. He actually freaking played himself.
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
And then we have this dead sky.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
Oh my gosh, you suck. There's a clear contradiction with what Byakuya just said. Make it clear to everyone. New element has been added to the non-self base. Okay. Now we're going to add something called a truth flat. Dude, how much more stuff are they going to add? If you aim at a weak spot and hold down the left mouse button, then you'll memorize that weak spot. This memorized phase can only be shot once as a single truth bullet. If you shoot or change the truth bullet, it will disappear from your truth cylinder. However, you can use the flashback feature as many times as you want. If you don't seem to have the answer to a lie or contradiction in your loaded truth bullets, it might be wise to memorize a different weak spot and use that to make your case. What? What? When's the best time to flash back? Well, you'll just have to use your keen wits, won't you? In this case, though, I will say that if you don't use a flashback, you won't be refuting anything. Well then, good luck and have fun. This is not fun, this is so stressful. I don't get it. What does that mean? How many truth bullets am I gonna have then? Just one. Monokuma file number 2. Oh, wait a minute.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird...
Oh, okay.
How?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out
Oh
the
my
girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
Shut the frick up.
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distraction.
Oh, that was the thing.
What's so strange about...
I wish you'd taken me with you.
That was the thing, is... Because he didn't know.
So, you said but he was acting...
If you're presented with the opportunity,
that's unnatural.
The victim was Chihiro.
How did
who
you
was
know
a
that?
girl.
What? What? Some mistake lurking in what I said? Wait, what? Must be...
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird...
Wait, what?
How?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out
Before we
the
found the
girls'
body.
locker room, you absolute... That's unnatural.
The victim was Chihiro.
Okay, so I...
No, that's wrong.
Oh, okay, so I get it now. So you flash back and get a truth bullet that is able to help you with the thing.
I'll tell you
Okay,
what's so
I get it.
strange about that. Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was.
Fell right into it.
So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
You
I see.
fool.
That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Huh?
How so?
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
What's with Byakuya's attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. I've got him cornered, but he's acting like it has nothing to do with
What's the
him.
matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it.
Thank you, Kyoko.
We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
The difference between this case and other Genocide Jack murders. The evidence that proves Byakuya is responsible is hidden in there. What could it be? Oh no, not another debate. Oh jeez. Thought it was just gonna be a thing. Library desk lamp. Okay.
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again?
Please explain it.
When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope, was it not?
Yeah.
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
Oh.
Obviously, somebody else must have had it hidden away somewhere.
Okay, so we have to get the... I guess it's possible, but first, Roman Valos is like rope, but was actually rope. No, it wasn't. But he didn't use a very specific object. Okay.
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again?
Yes.
When I want to kill, I use my very
Whoops!
own
No!
special
No! No! Stop!
scissors.
Oh gosh darn it! Dang it! No! 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 Stop!
Shoot!
I didn't mean to say that. Frick,
What?
man.
The
Okay.
difference between the cases? You want me
Byakuya,
Okay.
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
Finally, there we go.
No,
oh my
that's
gosh,
wrong.
I'm so dumb. Literally wasted so much time. Oh my gosh.
Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
Then Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right?
No, because you killed her in the boys' locker room. He's doing it again. He's totally calm, totally unconcerned, as if he's not even involved. Wait, not even involved.
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell
It's
yes,
not.
that's what happened.
No, it's not.
So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Yes, we do.
Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
Wait, what was that just now? Something's not right. Chihiro's body was definitely found in the girls' locker room, but does that mean, can I really just accept what Byakuya said is the truth? No, I don't think those. There's definitely something off about what he just said. The scene of the crime.
I got it!
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I was
You say
right.
you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
This is where it comes
How
out, isn't it?
disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown.
You suck.
She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
Hey, Byakuya, did I just take you off guard? Oh boy. When the story suddenly moved to the crime scene, Byakuya, who'd been so confident up till now, maybe Byakuya never even realized that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Hey, don't just move on without permission. What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Well, I got it for you, sir. I got it for you. Evidence that shows the murder took place somewhere else. There was something that was switched between the boys' and girls' locker room. It could be either the rug or the posters. Yeah, so... I mean, I guess we could present this first, or maybe it just gives you the
proof that
option
she was
to-
killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of
Oh
hers
my-
were totally fake!
Okay, let's not,
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet, but I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No, it's not that the stain was scrubbed away. It was moved. Dun dun dun!
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, Does that mean that the carpets were switched too?
Correct.
But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think?
Yes.
What? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Why would they go to all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place?
Oh, here we go.
To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room.
Boy.
She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Is he right? Could you hear really have gotten to the boys' locker room somehow? Yes, absolutely. Broken e-handbook. Okay.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I've got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer, after all.
I would say no.
I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Oh?
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course. If she had that, she could get into the boys' locker room no problem.
Theoretically, if Chihiro was able to use Leon's handbook, she could get into the boys' locker room. But when we found Leon's handbook in the main hall, there's no doubt that it was. Oh, okay, so we tell him that it's broken. In which case, you really say she used it. Okay.
Is it really? Could
Yeah.
Chihiro
We're good,
really?
we're good. There we go. Okay.
Whew, no, that's wrong.
I thought that white noise was gonna get in front of it right before it hit. It's gonna be so nasty.
No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Oh my gosh, they made it broken so that way we had to figure out that it's
Why
a guy.
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Nope. Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup. Hit the nail square on the noggin.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers,
Nope.
like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
Psst! You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify
used her
her
own.
own handbook,
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
Is that it then? Chihiro was killed in the girls' locker room and Byakuya's the only one who did it? Really? But still, I don't know what else I can do.
Hold on a second.
Okay, here we go. Kyoko inspected the body thoroughly, so she'll know.
I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right?
Gosh.
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
What?
What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to
Oh?
come see something.
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
I don't think she can just call a break like that.
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting?
Oh my gosh, she's like a kid.
Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
Huh? For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
Okay, this is weird. So before I even knew what was happening, the class trial had been put on a hold. We headed off with Kyoko in the lead, and where she took us was...
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom! What are you trying to pull, Missy?
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time.
No, come on, don't. Please don't. Are we really going this way? You want to check it again?
Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully.
Please.
Take your time.
Are you kidding me? We have to...
Examine
No.
her
No.
carefully.
Oh my gosh.
No way!
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just based on religious grounds, you know?
Very well. I'll do it.
No.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her.
Oh my gosh, this is so awkward.
So just leave this to me.
Sakura.
What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about?
Oh my gosh.
That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
Putting her hands together in a brief prayer, Sakura then began to quietly examine her body.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this?
Oh my gosh. It's actually confirmed. It's confirmed.
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
No. Sakura's eyes were staring wildly at Chihiro's lifeless form. Her massive frame trembled.
This girl is
what?
Is a boy.
No. Oh my gosh.
Ah, I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting.
Oh my gosh.
Think you...
What?
You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
See for yourself.
Then it's really true?
Oh my gosh.
Chihiro was a guy?
Yeah. Yep, we figured that out.
Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat.
Of course you knew.
Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
Then he was a cross-dresser? Oh no, I'm really on fire! I
Wow.
wish I had killed him!
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh?
I hate it.
Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the
Oh
trial.
my gosh. There were so many more ways we could have figured that out. We figured it out without having to do that.
I apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial.
gosh.
We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
To think that Chihiro was actually a guy. The thought had never even crossed my
And
mind.
because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Correct.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Oh, he's gonna bring up the handbook.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
I guess that's true.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is the most titillating
Oh my
situation!
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
Ah, he's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
I guess
Well,
so.
without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
Wait, we don't think he's the killer? Wait, Makoto, you got Big Mac, listen to me. You gotta tell me these things before you say this. Our brains are not connected, man.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder.
What?
At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again, when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy, if you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
What?
Are you fucking with us right now?
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say?
Did he really do that?
Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility.
Gosh.
Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
Very true.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
Byakuya didn't do it. Then who's the real killer? Who murdered Chihiro? There's one thing we can be sure that we know about the killer. Is this about how they're strong? The killer was able to gain access to the real murder scene, which means... yeah.
I got it!
I think, since the crime scene is the boys' locker room, he would need a boys' handbook to get in. Since Leon's was apparently broken, the killer would have had to use their own. In other words, it had to have been a guy. That's still not enough. I need to find some more clues. Oh, shoot. Shoot, man. Celeste's account. Frick.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Yeah.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point.
Okay.
Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
Celeste's
It's
account?
over.
Yeah, because no one
It's
knew
all
about it.
over.
So that's probably...
You want to know who saw the victim? The killer. And only the killer. And it's not like they're just gonna turn themselves in.
Or maybe that's
Game
the
over,
statement.
man. Game over.
Game over, man.
Yeah!
Game over, Scoob.
No! Not game over!
Okay, whatever. Shut up, nerd. Okay, so
Isn't there a
And new info.
this? No? Really? Come on, Makoto, don't start. Wait, really? But no one knew about the account or about Celeste's thing, and that's new info.
Shoot!
Okay, then freaking whatever. I guess it's the other
Isn't
thing.
there a sing?
Okay, I guess
No,
this.
that's
Okay,
wrong.
so yeah. Okay, I that's weird because it seems like that is new info.
I believe
oh well.
someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about
Which
this.
is new info to everyone. What?
The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag, and then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
Well, I better get going. I'm kind of in a hurry.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry.
Oh, so someone was waiting there
But
for him.
why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone
Yeah.
were waiting for him, I should think.
I guess so.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
Mahina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Yep.
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much.
That's very true.
Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret
Wait a
being
minute.
revealed.
Ooh, what a marvelous friendship!
It's not Mondo, is it? Don't tell me it's Mondo.
The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Seriously?
Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Wait, really?
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on two pieces of evidence that we don't have?
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say, but fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket?
The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
What? Wait, what are they hinting at?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Does Chihiro's track jacket really hold some clue about the killer? Somehow it's really hard to believe. Ah, jeez. Frick, man. Oh. Celeste's account. I don't know.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed.
Yeah,
He
there's
was
a
on
lot.
his way to go exercise.
Correct.
So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. This exercising sucks.
Oh my god.
I have a white tracksuit, personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
She's right. What he just said just now is really odd. Who? How did he know something like that? Wait, who? I completely missed it. Was it Taka? Because he said it was the same one as the culprit was wearing? But that wasn't even a thing to shoot down. What he just said now is really odd. How did he know something like that? That's the only thing I could think. Wait, did Taka do it? Wait. Taka mentioned a blue track. We didn't mention anything about the color of the tracksuit yet, did we? And Taka mentioned a blue
First of
tracksuit.
all, we know where he was on his way, so next week, why did he choose?
What do you mean, the specific?
I got it! He picked that. It matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So,
What's your...
the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
No!
No, that's wrong.
Oh my gosh, Mondo said it. Are you kidding me? Did he actually do it?
Hold on a second, Mondo.
Dude.
What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
No, it's actually him. Oh my gosh, I'm so mad, actually.
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said...
I saw him stuffing a track jacket into his duffel bag, and then I assumed he headed off to exercise.
She never said anything about the jacket's color.
No.
So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you just...
No, it's actually him. I'm so mad.
Hey,
I'm
Celeste.
so mad.
What color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue?
Oh, dude. I'm so mad. I'm so mad.
Before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
I'm so mad. I'm so mad. Because he gave us that whole spiel about respecting women and whoever freaking killed Sakura or Sayaka, he was gonna like pound their face in or whatever. And then he does this. I'm so mad.
Because I'm
sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
Wait a minute. Why are you trying to back him up?
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died. That's the only possibility.
Cherry?
Cherry. I
Are
like
you
these
talking
nicknames.
about Chihiro?
So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
just by chance. I just happened to see it last night.
Why didn't you mention it?
He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No, he's carrying a duffel bag.
That can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony,
She stuffed the jacket into her bag in a hurry. It was almost like she was trying to hide it. And just like that, she was gone.
when Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
Yeah.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it. To put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question.
Because I hate him. I don't know. I really don't know. The way he talked, the way he was acting, it's possible because he was like very... It might be this. But we did just realize the way he talked now. I don't know. It's definitely between these two. Man, I don't know. I'm gonna pick this, I guess.
There
No?
was a
Okay.
certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently.
Oh, wait.
You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick. And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude.
Oh, I never even caught that.
Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
You noticed such a tiny detail?
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, was it really you? Did you really kill Chihiro?
Oh my gosh. I'm so mad. I never even picked up on the whole dude thing. I never picked up on that.
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah! He would never do something like that! This is a false accusation!
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come. That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you'd found some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence?
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly,
We need any lead we
might
can
not
get,
be
sir.
all that relevant.
Jeez, does your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then,
Oh wait,
here
is
it
this
is.
Chihiro's handbook?
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
I found it on the ground, right? Then it must belong to Chihiro. It's mine.
I got
I
it!
guess it's Chihiro. Yeah, that's the
We
right
know
thing.
Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to
can't
get
break
rid
it.
of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
How did the handbooks break? There's only one possible explanation. Hitting its weak point. That's what he said, right?
I got it! You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
Yeah! You remember that? Sure, maybe I let that slip. But I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
Right.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession, then...
Then we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
Huh? You're asking me?
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
That would be very not good.
Just tell us already! Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example?
Monokuma's the bottom.
Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break!
So, the sauna thing plays into all of this. What? I have no idea.
I flippin' knew it!
You knew it?
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna.
The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air
Okay,
of the
do we need
sauna
to know
were
this?
somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Wow, interesting. I learned one new fact today.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
Meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident?
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that? I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into
Well,
the sauna.
We know.
I might know someone who did.
Whoa, seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
Who might have brought their handbook into the sauna? Had to be one who wore all their clothes into the sauna. It was... Wait. Yeah, because Taka didn't wear his clothes in there, right? Or did he? I could have swore Mondo had his clothes on. And Taka, because he had like his bare chest. I guess it's Mondo? I don't know why Taka's acting so weird, maybe just because they made that promise and this is cause like I specifically remember him having clothes on, and Taka I think like just had a robe on or something, or like a towel. I guess.
Here's my answer. Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What?
Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for
Yeah.
the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
I mean, I don't want to believe it either, but I found something that proves it beyond a shadow of a doubt. I did? What? Why can I never remember these things? Why can Big Mac only remember these things? Oh, come on. Wait, we found something. Oh, shoot.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine.
Wait.
See? Look! Makoto was
took
wrong
Leon's.
after all!
He took
Mondo
Leon's.
wouldn't hurt a fly!
He took Leon's. He took Leon's. He has Leon's. The broken hip. Oh, he swapped it out. If I can just prove that. Oh, okay.
Let's test
Okay.
Makoto's assertion.
Okay.
If what he says is
Damn handbook works just fine.
Okay, there we go.
No,
oh
that's
my
wrong.
gosh, I'm so. Okay.
Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
Wow, so he swapped it out with Leon's.
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall, isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's.
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
No. Byakuya said this before.
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student.
I guess so.
It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch! What's wrong, bro? Come on! Tell him he's wrong! You are wrong! You have to be wrong! Everything you just said is wrong! You made it all up!
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning? That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
I can't believe this. I can't believe this. He actually did it? I'm so mad. That might be it. Let's go for it, I guess.
You! First, let's take a look back to before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste?
Uh-oh, did I mess something up?
With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room.
Oh, was that Byakuya using his thing? I thought it was...
But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room?
Oh no, that was right, okay.
Simple, because she was really a he, which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him. It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him.
Makes me so mad.
And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned.
Okay, got that right.
Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet, then removing the bloody poster, and finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course, but this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem. And that's exactly how the killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch.
Did anyone call it that, Big Mac? I don't think so.
That could have been the end of things, but no. Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation,
Weirdo.
making things even more complicated. So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then he got to work. He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body.
Ugh.
Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter. And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played out.
Wow. Oh my gosh, I'm so
Isn't
mad.
that right, Mondo Owada?
I'm so mad. Unbelievable. We did it though.
Wait! No! This can't be right! Where's your evidence? Yeah! Where's your evidence? You need evidence! You need proof! Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him!
Evidence that Mondo is the killer. That already revealed itself earlier in the trial. If I could somehow show where Mondo's handbook is right now, once I do that, everything will become clear. A new element has been added to the bullet time battle. Yes? Is this the thing at the end? Let's talk a little more fever time and Nagi time. During a bullet time battle, if you press the space key, fever time will activate and the tempo will be forced to its max. At this point, even if you push the buttons at random, you won't miss. Okay. So you can push RMLB, however you want to destroy the opponent's verbal assault. But this only lasts until focus gauge runs out to make the best possible use of your time. Of course, it wouldn't be fair if only you got access to special time, right? Oh, come on. We've also prepared something called Nagi time that your opponent can use. If the opponent activates that time during the bullet time battle, your tempo marker will disappear, making it quite a bit tough to hit the buttons in rhythm. If you were to activate fever time at this point, no, never mind. I'm sure nothing would happen. I don't know what I was worried about. Okay. Unsurprisingly, if your action difficulty is set to gentle, the opponent won't use it. Okay. Well then, good luck and have fun. Okay, so whenever they use it, I should use mine, so that way I know that I'm hitting down their statements for sure. Okay. Alright. The moment of truth! Wait, we're going against him?
Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False! Show me some evidence! I won't listen! False! I refuse to vote! Show me some evidence!
Cool.
You're wrong! I won't listen!
Come
I
on.
refute you! False! Show me some evidence! I won't listen! False!
Easy.
Show me some evidence!
This should prove it!
Wow.
If my thinking so far is right, Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's.
So his should say
In
Leon
which
on
case,
it.
we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that, we'll...
We don't gotta do that.
Why do you gotta say that, man? I cannot believe he did it.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I did it. I killed him.
Oh my gosh. You suck. Oh. Hey, I got an A on the last part. Yes! Thank you so much to, I believe it was the coder in the comments telling me how to do that on my last class trial, because I had no idea how to do it. Thankfully someone let me know how to do it. That was so much easier now that I know I can just do it back and forth in between. Awesome. Awesome, so we got 84. Cool. We had a B on that one part.
Bro, what are you saying?
Okay, so the reason he was acting like that is because they were such big bros from going through the sauna thing.
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that.
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting, no holding on. Time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Grab your lever and give it a yank! Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around?
Who will I?
Will you make the right choice? Or the
dreadfully
dreadfully wrong
wrong one.
one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Well, I think we already know. Oh, yep. Wow, I can't believe he did that, man. Oh yeah, so I guess it does make sense that when he said he would never hit a girl or whatever, that he was upstanding towards that because it wasn't a girl. I forgot about that whenever I said that before. Man, unbelievable. But I thought he was cool. I thought he was a cool guy. You know, I thought he was like respectful and upstanding. But he does also lead a biker gang, the biggest biker gang of Japan, and gets into some stuff. So I guess he really was just bad after all. Dang, man, unbelievable.
Uh-oh, this time it looks like you got it right again. Yes, it is so. The Blackened that killed Chihiro Fujisaki was Mondo Iwata.
Unbelievable.
In case you're wondering, the vote was not unanimous. Kiyotaki chose the wrong answer. You're treading very close to the danger zone, Mr. Ishimaru. You need to be more careful.
I refuse to believe it. There's no way. No way he could kill someone.
Sorry.
Sorry.
What is this?
Why? Why are you apologizing? Why? Why did you do it?
Now then.
Well, it looks like Mondo's taking a vow of silence, so allow me to explain it on his behalf. The story of the murder this time is the sad story of two men. Oh, but for anyone who doesn't really want to hear it, you can hit the control key to fast forward the text. Okay. Anyway, there was once a young boy, and his name was Chihiro Fujisaki. He had an extreme inferiority complex regarding his own lack of strength. You're so weak, even though you're a boy. He'd heard things like that as long as he could remember, and he couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide and bury himself further and further into that weakness. To take on the fragile form of a petite young girl, he had to choose that as his way out. Man. Now, nobody will be able to say anything about even though you're a boy. But no matter how tightly he wrapped himself up in that shell, the inferiority complex had already taken root deep inside of him and was not so easily weeded out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear. Instead, it only grew stronger and stronger. I'm weak.
Weak.
That's actually like so sad to hear, man. Like,
once the killing game had begun here at the school, he had no choice but to accept this fact. After all, this world is survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. And then, the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. Which of course, including Chihiro's embarrassing secret, which I was more than willing to divulge. I might have read that wrong. Even though he dresses like a girl, Chihiro is actually a boy.
Hey,
And that was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter what the cost. If that was revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack, the armor would fall away. Without a doubt, those around him would torture him more than ever before. Everyone figured being thrust into such a dilemma must have sent him sprawling into despair. And yet...
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I don't really want to talk about it right now.
But
I also don't want to leave things the way they are, so maybe I can talk about it later. After I try my best to become strong, then I can tell everyone.
Annoyingly, he used the threat of discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
that's right.
Now's my chance.
I want to change.
I'm gonna get stronger and accept who I am. Oh. Strong enough so that when everyone says, even though you're a boy, I'll be okay. I'll get better.
With that thought at the front of his mind, he resolved to take immediate action, and so... That day, he made the commitment to begin exercising. He was prepared to retrain his mind and body, but sadly, that would be the first and only chance he would get at it. Oh my god.
Hey,
When he decided to start exercising, he thought it would be good to ask for someone's help. But he wanted to tell the person his secret first, and then ask them to help him from there. And the person he went to...
Yeah, that's right.
It was me.
Yep, it sure was. The biker gang fella had been painfully clear about how important his manly promises were, so Chihiro probably figured that even if he confided in Mondo, his honor would make him keep the secret.
Uh-huh.
Plus, Mr. Macho Mondo was the very symbol of a strong man that Chihiro had always aspired to.
Maybe talking to Mondo about it will help give me some courage. So he went and asked... Wait, what? Shouldn't this say Monokuma? So he went and asked Mondo to help him become strong. But it says Chihiro. Shouldn't it say Monokuma? Weird. Maybe that's just like a bug or something.
That was his aspiration, and he thought that only with Mondo's support would he ever be able to come close to that.
Correct.
So then, that must be why Mondo did what he did to keep the promise he made to Chihiro. Huh? Did what he did? Oh. Huh? Did what he did? You mean, that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room into the girls' locker room?
Indeed.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean.
Wasn't that to cover up what he'd done?
Certainly.
That could have been a part of it, but I don't think it was the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promise between men he'd made to Chihiro. Like, look, I get it, dude. I get that that's, like, probably was a lot more important to Chihiro. To come out and say that stuff when he was ready, but you still took that chance away from him. And he would never have been able to do it on his own terms. And you took that away from him, and that's unforgivable. But how does moving the body keep a secret? Because if everyone knew he'd been killed in the boys' locker room, then everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have immediately begun to suspect his identity, so we try to protect Chihiro's secret by putting him in the locker room and stealing his handbook, see? Then Mondo did all that to keep the promise he made to Chihiro, who he'd also killed? Why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trusted each other, right? So why? Why did you? Because no matter what I did, I didn't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
So that's what triggered it after all. The possibility of having our embarrassing memories and secrets exposed.
What is this?
That's impossible. Nothing could have been that bad. Something he didn't want anyone to know, even if it meant killing
You're
someone.
wrong.
It's impossible.
Don't make me repeat myself.
How many times must I repeat myself? To judge others by your own standard is the height of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, he obviously can. That's all there is to it.
Well, while we're on the subject, why don't I tell you? That embarrassing memory, that secret he didn't want anyone to know?
Hey,
You know what Mondo did?
Uh-oh. Here we go.
He killed his own brother.
Okay.
Mondo, the ultimate biker gang leader, makes all the hoodlums and riffraff across the country tremble. But the only reason he had the chance to join the biker gang in the first was to become a certain someone.
Because of a certain someone. His brother, dude.
Mondo's older brother name was Daya Uwada. Mondo had nothing but respect for him. It was because of Daya that Mondo even got onto a motorcycle. Mondo's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one Mondo could trust or respect. He wanted to measure up to his big brother, so he intimidated him in everything he did. Mondo was the epitome of the starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang, and before anyone knew it, it had grown into the biggest biker gang in the country. Daya, the older brother, number one in the gang, and his number two, his younger brother Mondo. In the beginning, everything was peaches and gravy, but when Mondo started to think about how he would have to take over the gang from his brother someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation began to gnaw on Mondo's very soul.
The kid's gonna take over for Daya, huh? Daya created his gang with his bare hands. Mondo's just along for the ride. Could someone like that really be our leader? All that'll do is make this gang look bad.
Almost every day, Mondo heard the gossip and whispers of other members of the gang, which is why...
I
gotta get stronger. Stronger than Daya. Once. Just one time. No matter what, I gotta
Don't
win.
fuck with me.
I don't care what it takes. I gotta come out on top.
And on the night of his amazing brother's retirement ceremony, Mondo challenged him to a street race. But during the race, tragedy struck. The kid brother pushed ahead with reckless abandon, eager for victory, and dashed into oncoming traffic. But suddenly...
Wow. So he didn't kill him directly. He just...
Laying in his kid brother's arm, the older brother delivered his final words.
My bad, kid. I effed up. Sorry.
Of course, he knew it was his brother's fault, but Daya never blamed him for what happened.
Hey, kid. The rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. 'Cause it's the team, you and me, put together. It's a promise between men. Wow, dang, dude.
He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang in order to keep the gang together and keep the promise to his brother. He could never admit to anyone that it was his own weakness that had caused the accident. And as a result, the team was made even stronger under the banner of the kid who'd bested his big brother. Daya was gonna lose to his kid brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed. That became the explanation for what happened. Mondo's lie became the truth. He wanted to lead the team so bad, he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother.
I just...
Strong. Strong.
And yet, as soon as our killing game began, he realized no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in an instant. And then the hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. At that point, it was clear I would have no problem shedding light on a secret. Mondo killed his own older brother.
No matter what, I couldn't let the other gang members find out. If that happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had worked to create would have been destroyed. His death, all the guilt I'd been carrying around, it all would have been for nothing. So that's why... That's why Mondo... After I saw what Monokuma had on me, my head filled up with all kinds of fuzzy uneasiness. I just started swirling around. I never felt anything like it before.
I
didn't know what to do about it. I wasn't sure what to think or say, but after a while, that fuzziness, that fuzzy uneasiness, turned itself into a rock-hard lump of anxiety way down in my stomach. And it was right around then that Chihiro asked me to start working out with him. Right then, he told me a secret. Seriously? Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry I lied to you. But why? Why now? Why are you telling me this all of a sudden? Huh? Because, I mean, you've kept a secret all this time, right? If anyone found out, you would...
But...
You're right, but...
I want to change.
I want to change. I wrap myself in lies. I'm weak. I want to destroy that version of me forever. His words were like a knife in my gut. I felt like he was exposing the lie I'd been living myself. I had to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. You're so strong. It can't hurt you, right? Whatever secret Monokuma might tell us.
You piece of...
So what? You're saying I should just say it?
What?
You're saying if I really am, I should just be able to tell everyone my secret?
Huh?
Huh? I was jealous. I was jealous of Chihiro's strength. He had the strength to face his own weakness, to try and overcome it. It was the kind of strength I've never had. So I was jealous of him, and that jealousy broke me.
What?
Are you making fun of me? I'm strong? Are you kidding me right now?
No!
I'm not making fun of you. You really are strong, Mondo. I felt like I could hear something starting to creak. Something inside my head. What did he want me to do? What was I supposed to do? What was I supposed to just sit back, let my secret get revealed and ruin everything?
What's wrong?
What's wrong?
Damn
Why
you!
did you have to tell me all that? Are you trying to rub my failure in my face?
I just wanted
No,
to...
I just really admire you. I admire your strength.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. I am strong. Strong. I'm strong. 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 Stronger than you.
You son of a bitch!
And stronger than Daya. I don't remember anything after that. Oh. When I woke up again, he was laying at my feet, covered in blood. I had the dumbbell in my hand. I was just staring at him down at the ground. Hey.
I killed him.
Killed him.
I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Mondo. He was normally so aggressive, so angry. He hid that weak side away from everyone. That was his secret. A weakness like that lived in a heart like his, and it turned him cold-blooded. Gosh dang it. Yeah.
Look at him, you see? You're all just like him. For a secret for the past, for a memory. For that, he killed another living human being in cold blood. He couldn't cut free of his regrets from the outside world. He doesn't know what true strength is. Do you see hope anywhere in there? 'Cause I sure don't.
You bear stirred up. Just shut up, you son of a gun. Go ahead, say that again. I dare you.
Yep. Okay, I'll say it as many times as I want. Is what I want to say, but unfortunately I can't do that right now because the time for punishing is fast approaching.
Punishing? It can't be. You mean execution?
That's what I promised, right? The blackened that disturbs the peace will be punished.
Ridiculous!
Hold on.
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment.
For Mondo Wada, the ultimate biker gang leader.
No, wait.
Let's give it everything we've got.
It's
punishment time!
Yay! I said wait.
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
Wow. Dang, that's crazy though. I really like the whole like juxtaposition, I guess, between like the strong and weak. How one viewed himself as weak and one had to view himself as strong. But like they were the opposite. Oh, that's so cool. What's happening now? Oh, okay. Monokuma's hair. Oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me, dude. The hair. It looks like corn. Oh, this is one of those, like, things where they ride around the cage of death. Or they just ride around in the cage on a bike. But what is the death part of this? Oh, he ejected. Whee! Oh wait, what's that thing on the side? Is he gonna get filled with something? Oh? What? He's spinning very fast. Oh, Monokuma's worn out. He's worn out. Where did Mondo go? Did he actually just disintegrate? Oh. Oh no. Oh my gosh. Wait, did it like liquidize him? That's horrible. That's horrible. Oh my gosh, that's so bad.
Laugh at death and your soul will forever be at peace.
It can't be. My brother. Another murder and another execution. I want to feel again. Everyone's lives are taken so lightly again. Taken lightly here. I feel like I might be going mad. Maybe I'll just let it happen. What? Yeah. Yes, that noise. As Taka's sad screams invaded our skulls, we were each forced to realize once again. But he, of course he had to. What a disappointment. This is the end of the game? Byakuya?
What is this?
You're completely insane. You know that? A game? One of our friends is dead. Do you realize that?
Naturally.
Of course I do. Because this game is life or death.
Hey,
I don't have anything to say to you. I don't have a response, except
however...
that I just don't understand why. Why did you go out of your way to disguise Mondo's crime?
What?
Why? Isn't it obvious? Because it made things more interesting. His voice was calm, emotionless, like the voice of death. It chilled me to the bone. Last night, when the murder took place, I was in the library as usual.
Honestly.
So you've ignored the nighttime rule too. That rule was never mattered to me. I don't recall agreeing to it.
There is nothing to be done.
I don't particularly care. Please continue. The night grew late, and we decided to return to my room, which is when I stumbled upon him. I spotted Mondo coming out of the girls' locker room. After he'd gone, I looked inside and saw the corpse. What? You mean you actually witnessed the murder? He was such a fool. He didn't have the slightest idea that I'd see him.
Well...
So you're saying you knew who the culprit was from the very beginning?
That's right.
Indeed. But if that had been the end of it, how boring would that have been? I mean, what a waste of time to have the answer revealed right at the beginning. Which is why I decided to lend a little helping hand. I thought it would liven things up. You did all of that to liven things up.
I see.
So, after hearing about Genocide Jack from Toko, you decided to use that to create the fake murder scene.
But,
dang man, if we hadn't figured out who'd really done it, you would have been dead too, right? Well, obviously they would have revealed the truth before it reached that point. Of course. Byakuya turned and looked me in the eye. I could feel his sharp eyes piercing into me. Thanks to the certain remarkable someone, it never did, and I was able to perform an interesting experiment.
Interesting.
Once I do decide to become blackened, I know who I'll have to watch out for. Okay.
Correct.
So that was your reason. Are you satisfied?
Indeed.
Yes. We're done listening to your story. Moving on.
Hey.
There's something I'd like to ask Monokuma.
What's this?
Oh? I'm up next?
You like to perform these elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is, why?
Do you like them? But, you know, this punishment, this despair, it's not just for you. All this punishment, all this despair is my gift to mankind itself.
What?
You're over-exaggerating.
I am not over-exaggerating. These punishments are meant to transform all hope to despair.
What do you mean?
Huh?
Mean? Mean? Mean.
What the heck?
Mean.
Damn it!
Good grief, I don't understand why you have to pick apart every little stupid thing.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. In the end, I'm gonna stand here alone as the victor, and then everything will be revealed to me.
Ooh,
The noble son of a noble family.
exciting.
Truly you understand me. I think this is the start of a terrifying friendship.
That's enough.
Shut up. I would never stoop to the level of a childish criminal like you. Let me just say this. After I have achieved complete victory, you're up next. I'm going to find you and kill you, understand?
In the name of my family.
In the name of the Togami family, for which victory is a foregone conclusion.
You're getting all riled up!
Ooh, so cool! It's like you're the main character of a video game or something. No trash mob for you.
I swear, whatever it takes, I will kill you.
Temper. Sounds like someone needs a nap.
Wow. This is great. Monokuma's laughter peeled across the courtroom, and the curtain closed on the case of Chihiro and Mondo. But I knew that wasn't the end. The killing game would still continue, because the mastermind wouldn't let it end. For those of us who were still alive, our worst fear and despair kept on multiplying. It was the kind of despair that felt like a blind puppy in hell had more of a future than us. All of our courage, our effort, our friendship, it felt like it amounted to nothing at all. It was the worst kind of despair. Dang, dude. Oh, okay.
Well, anyway, like I was saying, this is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stopping it. Fear and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part. You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now. So just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay? After all, that's what everyone wants to see.
What? There's one more thing I'd like to ask you.
As long as you don't want to know my measurements, fire
What?
away.
What is that supposed to mean? Who is it? The 16th high school student, I mean.
Ooh. My, you really took me by surprise there. I know I said you could ask anything, but super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied. Because you see, that's my ace in the hole.
What?
And nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friends.
Who was that? What? Oh, so sad. 11 students left. Only 2 people died that time. The crazy diamond present. Great. I'm glad. Well, I guess we leave that here, I guess. And we'll figure out who is speaking to us next time on Danganronpa. I can't believe that, dude. That clash trial was insane. That was so cool. So many twists. I was like, it's definitely not Toko, and then it started happening, and I was like, maybe it is, but it's like, and then it immediately was like, no, it's not, and I was like, it's probably definitely Byakuya, and then it wasn't him, and then I had no idea who it was, and then Mondo. Unbelievable, man. I definitely thought he had more, you know, he was more respectful and good than that. But man, yeah, I really liked how those 2 characters juxtaposed each other. Like, one felt weak but was actually strong enough to change themselves, while one was strong but internally weak. Oh, that was so cool. That was so cool. Storytelling is really, really good. Oh, man, I love this game, and I cannot wait to play more, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next video that we have. We're gonna figure out, maybe, hopefully, who dies next. Maybe not hopefully. No, I think we're good without anyone dying. Yeah. Apparently there's a 16th student, too. So there's gonna be someone just, like, thrown into the mix, maybe? That'll be interesting to see. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.